Hello, French students. Bonjour and bienvenue. Welcome to French 2. So I'm just going to go over your course overview with you. And you have to answer some questions at the end in order to complete this assignment. And then you'll be done with this assignment. But there's some valuable information in here. So let's start. My name is Mrs. Hool, and you can remember that it rhymes with pool. Pool, pool. So I'll be your French teacher, obviously, this year. I also teach 6th and 7th grade English and Social Studies at ICON. Please contact me if you have any questions or concerns about this course. So I gave you my schedule and contact information. I highly suggest that you print this out and keep my contact information handy. So my hours that I am available are all day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So this includes if you need to call for any questions, if you need to call to report on a live class, or if you need something graded, if you need to have any questions or concerns, an email, whatever. Those are the times that I am available. So live office for help or questions is Mondays and Wednesdays 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So that means I am just hanging out online for you to drop in on our my online office. Sorry, but I am available all day Monday through Friday in addition. So I give you my email address there, and I do give you 2 phone numbers. My first phone number is a cell phone number, and when I work from my office, that's where I can be reached. When I work from home, my cell phone doesn't work there, so I gave you my home phone number also. I say try both, please. So try the first one, and if I'm not available there, call the second one. Please call both before you leave a message, because I might not get one or the other if I'm not where there is cell phone service. I live in the mountains, so we don't have great cell phone service, but there is always a way you can contact me Monday through Friday during those times. So, what is French 2 about? French 2 builds on and reviews skills and concepts taught in French 1, obviously, through further exposure to communication, cultures, connections, comparisons, and communities. This course gives you practice using the mechanics of the French language. It acquaints you with the cultural differences of Francophone countries and helps you gain a keen awareness of your own culture. And although you cannot expect to become fluent in French after 1 or 2 years of taking it, you will learn vocabulary and phrases to help you if you decide to travel. It's like learning a language as a baby. We don't expect 2-year-olds to completely be able to express themselves and understand what adults are saying, but you will have a certain amount of understanding. Also, since French is the next most used language internationally after English, you will be able to understand much of what is going on in the world. For example, you may have noticed at the recent Olympics that they do all the announcements in English and in French. A lot of people in the world, if they don't understand English, they understand French. Some additional resources that you'll need, of course, you need internet access to work on this course. You'll need access to an encyclopedia, either online or a hard copy. You can always Google encyclopedia and find what you need. It would be great to have paper, as in a notebook and a pencil or pen, to take notes, because it will really help you when you go back if you have notes on the important topics. And a printer is also optional if you want to print out certain vocabulary and notes. Okay, how this course is going to be run at unit overviews. At the beginning of each unit, you'll find an overview or what you'll learn in that unit. Also included are study guides for each quiz and test in the unit, and some units have important links for readings or resources you'll need. You'll need to answer 2 questions to get credit for completing each unit overview. Live class assignments. To help you with the more difficult assignments and projects, I have scheduled a live class assignment throughout the units. Normally, one live class assignment per unit. As the time gets closer for each assignment, I will insert a link in that assignment for you to either attend a live class session or watch a recording of it and call me for credit. So you will be required to complete one of these options for credit for the assignment. So in other words, you'll either need to attend the live class online or you will have to watch the video and call me. Yes, it's a requirement to call me and tell me what you saw in the video. And you won't be able to do these projects in advance, just as they come along. My grading policy and weights. So first of all, if you're concerned about any of your assignments, your grade, your progress, please contact me as soon as possible. I do expect you to read and study the lessons, complete all the lessons, projects, quizzes, and tests in the order that they're due. So you'll notice that projects are available to you from the beginning of the unit. Don't complete them at the beginning of the unit. Do them in the order that they come and submit them by the due date. Because if you do a project at the beginning of the unit, you're not going to know what to do. All of the assignments leading up to the project will give you information on how to complete that project. Then, in red, a note regarding blank questions or assignments. It is the school-wide policy of ICON to reassign blank essay and short answer questions within lessons, quizzes, and tests. Students submitting blank work will have these questions reassigned, and repeated blank work will result in assignments being locked and may result in parent-teacher conferences to resolve the issue. So it's really important not to leave anything blank, because it's just going to be reassigned to you, and don't just write garbage for it, because in that case it'll be reassigned also. That's considered blank and incomplete. Okay, a note about plagiarism and online translators. So as you know, plagiarism is essentially copying someone else's work and making it your own. You will need to write any researched material in your own words. And this doesn't just mean changing words in a sentence or paragraph around. You must read and then interpret the material into your own words and language. You must include citations anytime you research or look up information. Now, using a quote in your answer is not plagiarism if you use quotation marks, you keep it to 1 or 2 lines of text, and if you tell where the quote came from. This is important. If an assignment is plagiarized, or even part of it, it will become a 0 and averaged into your grade, except for the first offense, in which I allow you to redo. I just contact your parents and ask that it not happen again, and then you redo. So if it keeps happening, unfortunately, I'll have to contact ICON administration and have them take care of the situation, but just don't plagiarize and we'll all be great. So using an online translator is treated the same as plagiarism. Looking up a word or two is fine, just like using a dictionary, but translating entire phrases, sentences, and passages is not fine. And I will know if you used an online translator because, first of all, online translators are not foolproof. Sometimes some things come out sounding silly. Plus, I'll also know that you don't yet have the level of language required to sound like it's going to come out of the translator. Okay? So let's talk about extra credit. If you have no zeros, your work is on pace, and you would like to improve your grade, extra credit's available. So just contact me if you'd like to consider extra credit. Okay, the weighting for the grading weights lessons is 25% of your unit grade. It says you have 3 attempts to reach a score of at least 75%. That is incorrect. This year you only have 2 attempts to reach a score of at least 75%. So 2 attempts this year. After 2 attempts, you'll have to take whatever grade that you get. Okay, if you need help on your second attempt, tell me. Projects are also 25% of your unit grade. So since there's usually only one project per unit, that is going to be 25% of your entire unit grade. A blank project will be reassigned just like a blank essay is. Quizzes and tests are 25% of your unit grade. You only have one opportunity to complete quizzes and tests, so make sure you are prepared before you open them. Okay, I'm not just going to be unlocking quizzes and tests all the time, so you need to be prepared. Have your study guide with you, your corrected study guide, and then you'll do fine. Now, unit tests, remember, since there's only one of those per unit, that is going to be 1/4 of your unit grade. So here's my policy on reassigning quizzes and tests. Alternate versions of quizzes and tests will be assigned if you wish to redo them for a better grade. This will be done at my discretion and most likely at the end of the unit. So you're not going to be reassigned the same quiz or test. It'll be an alternate version, and there aren't any study guides for that. So my suggestion is to use your study guides wisely, wait for corrections, wait for my feedback, and then use them while you're taking the quiz or test. So speaking of study guides, in all of my courses, study guides will be actual lessons to be turned in before working on each quiz or test. So some teachers are requiring them this year, some are not. I am. An incomplete study guide will be treated as a blank essay to be reassigned. Assignment reference numbers are given for quiz study guides. So in other words, I give you the question and I might put A5 next to it. That means you can look in assignment 5 for the answer. Test study guides do not have the assignment references. It's your responsibility to find the information in the assignments, and I won't give you the answers, but a study guide does count toward your grade. So if you are having a hard time finding certain answers, call me or attend a live office session for help. I'd be happy to help you on 1 or 2 questions for the study guide, but that doesn't apply to the whole study guide, however. I'm not going to just sit with you every time to complete a study guide. You need to complete most of it on your own. Then if you have questions, I'll be happy to help. So in grading, I will let you know which answers are incorrect on each study guide. You are expected to correct them and resubmit, since they are mostly actual questions from the quiz or test. So most of the time, I've taken an actual quiz question and put it on the study guide. Therefore, if you get it right on the study guide, you'll get it right on the quiz. So that's why I'm telling you which ones are incorrect that you need to correct, okay? So after correcting, and if you don't have very many wrong, you can go on to your quiz or test. Be sure to work on other courses while you're waiting for a study guide to be graded. Don't just submit and go on. Submit, wait for me to grade and see what's correct and incorrect. Work on something else in the meantime. Okay? Waiting for corrections will ensure you do your best on the quiz or test. So you'll also have 3 chances to complete a study guide correctly. After that, you'll need to take whatever grade you receive on it. And I expect you to use the study guides for correct answers as you take each quiz or test. Okay? That's what they're for, so that you can have a chance to preview the questions, get them right, and use them. So, how to study a language. When learning a new language, we all have the tendency to want to translate things word for word. You can do that when learning new vocabulary words, but sentences and phrases are entirely different. When reading and listening and trying to understand conversations in French, I want you to focus on the overall sense of what is being said. So in other words, even if you don't understand every single little word, you can understand the context of what's being said. When phrases are translated word for word, they tend to sound strange and may not even make very much sense. As a side note, this is also how I will know if you used an online translator to write what you want to say in French. It looks and sounds totally absurd when you know how to read French. I'll also know that you do not yet have that level of vocabulary. Okay, so the best way to complete an assignment to be written in French is to use what you already know Don't try to look up things you don't know. Okay? Use what you've learned. Copy, yes, copy the examples given in assignments, but put in the information you need to provide. For most of the projects, they'll give you an example. Use that example. Just put in your own information. Then you should read the rubric for a written assignment, if one is included. Now, a grading rubric will let you know exactly what is required and will allow you to be successful the first time. Listen to and practice the French vocabulary aloud. It gives your brain another way to remember the material you've learned. So at the end of each lesson, there's a section with vocabulary. Click on the little button that will read the word to you in French, practice it out loud, and your brain remembers it better. Okay, so bonne chance, good luck this semester, and contact me if you need help. Au revoir, goodbye.